On that day, Chow Chow was in the palace when a sudden violent wind arose. A black gale swept across the ground, and within it appeared countless corpses. One by one they seemed to stand upright, their faces twisted and ferocious, like wronged spirits returning from the dead. When Chow Chow saw this, terror seized his heart. Overwhelmed by fear, he collapsed on the spot and lost consciousness. After some time, the wind gradually subsided, and the corpses vanished without a trace, as if everything had been nothing more than a nightmare. The attendants hurriedly carried Chow Chow back into the palace. Although he soon regained consciousness, his mind was unsettled and fear lingered in his heart. From that day on, he fell seriously ill. Later generations composed poems praising Zhuangzi, saying that he could travel like the wind and roam across the 9 provinces, coming and going without a trace through the arts of divination and concealment. With a casual display of immortal techniques, he was able to shake even a hero like Chow Chow, filling him with doubt and fear. After Chow Chow fell ill, he took medicine for many days, yet his condition showed no improvement. At this time, Su Ji, assistant grand astrologer, came from Xuchang to pay him a visit. Seeing that Su Ji was skilled in astronomy and divination, Chow Chow ordered him to calculate his fortune. Instead of divining immediately, Su Ji asked whether Chow Chow had heard of a master diviner named Guan Lu. Chow Chow had heard the name but knew little of his abilities, so Su Ji explained his background in detail. Guan Lu, courtesy name Gongming, was a native of Pingyuan. His appearance was plain and coarse, his behavior unrestrained, and he had a great fondness for wine. His father had once held a minor local post, and the family was far from prominent. From childhood, Guan Lu was obsessed with the stars and celestial phenomena. At night he would gaze at the sky and refuse to sleep, no matter how his parents tried to persuade him. He often said that even chickens and geese knew the seasons. How could a human live in the world without understanding the ways of heaven? When playing with other children, he would draw astronomical charts on the ground, arranging the sun, moon, and stars. As he grew older, he delved deeply into the Book of Changes, and also mastered numerology, physiognomy, and wind divination. His knowledge far surpassed that of ordinary people. Shan Zichuan, the administrator of Langia, heard of his reputation and summoned him. That day, more than 100 guests were present, all eloquent and learned men. Guan Lu first asked for 3 sheng of fine wine, saying that only after drinking could he speak freely. The guests thought him eccentric, but granted his request. After drinking, Guan Lu discussed the Book of Changes with unstoppable eloquence. His arguments were profound and unbroken, and the debate lasted from morning until night. Shan Zichuan repeatedly challenged him, yet every question was easily resolved. The entire assembly was astonished, and from then on they called him a divine prodigy. Later, a family surnamed Guo had 3 brothers who all fell gravely ill with paralysis. They invited Guan Lu to divine the cause. After casting the hexagram, Guan Lu said bluntly that the signs indicated a wronged female spirit buried in their ancestral grave, either an aunt by marriage or a younger aunt. During a great famine years earlier, the family had conspired to push her into a well over a few sheng of grain, then crushed her to death with stones. Her lonely soul, full of resentment, had appealed to heaven, and the retribution now fell upon her descendants. This was a punishment from heaven and could not be undone. When the Guo family heard this, they wept bitterly and bowed to the ground, acknowledging their grave sins. Another time, Wang Ji, administrator of Omping, invited Guan Lu to his home to divine for his wife and son. His wife had suffered from chronic headaches, and his son endured severe pain in his chest. Guan Lu said that beneath the western corner of the house lay two corpses, one holding a spear, the other a bow. The spear signified injury to the head, the bow injury to the chest and abdomen. When they dug there, they indeed found two coffins with weapons still inside, though the wood had rotted away. Following Guan Lu's instructions, they reburied the remains outside the city. Wang Ji's wife and son recovered immediately, and from then on he revered Guan Lu like a divine being. Zhuge Yuan, magistrate of Guantao, was about to be transferred when someone mentioned that Guan Lu excelled at the art of concealed object divination. Zhuge Yuan did not believe it. He secretly placed a swallow's egg, a beehive, and a spider into 3 separate boxes and ordered Guan Lu to divine them. After completing the divination, Guan Lu wrote a poem on each box, describing the appearance and nature of the objects inside with perfect accuracy. Everyone present was stunned. Later, an old woman lost her ox and came to seek divination. Guan Lu declared that the ox had been slaughtered by 7 men beside the northern stream, and that the hide and meat were still there. The woman went to investigate and found everything exactly as foretold. The local official Lu Bin still doubted him and tested him again with hidden objects. Guan Lu was once more completely accurate, and from then on he was treated as an honored guest. One day, while traveling in the countryside, Guan Lu saw a young man plowing the fields and suddenly told him that he would die within 3 days. The young man was named Zhao Yan, 19 years old and handsome in appearance. Zhao Yan returned home and told his father. Father and son were devastated and chased after Guan Lu, begging him to save the boy. Guan Lu first said this was heaven's decree and could not be changed. But seeing their deep affection, he was moved by compassion and taught Zhao Yan to bring wine and venison to a great tree on the southern mountain and beg for life from 2 men playing chess there. Zhao Yan followed the instructions and indeed found 2 men, one dressed in red, the other in white. After offering them food and drink, he wept and begged for his life. The man in red said this must have been Guan Lu's teaching, and since they had accepted the offering, they could not refuse. The man in white took out a register of lifespan, changed the number from 10 to 99, and warned that the secrets of heaven must not be revealed again. A fragrant wind suddenly arose, and the 2 men transformed into white cranes and flew into the sky. Guan Lu later explained that the man in red governed life, the southern dipper, and the man in white governed death, the northern dipper. From then on, fearing further disclosure of heaven's secrets, Guan Lu rarely performed divinations again. After hearing Su Ji's account, Cao Cao grew increasingly uneasy. The strange events involving Zhuo Ci that night, events he had tried to dismiss bravely, combined with lingering illness and nightly nightmares, now felt like something dark was watching him. Hearing of Guan Lu, a man who could divine fate and even know what lay buried beneath the earth or where wronged spirits lingered, Cao Cao immediately decided that, true or false, he must summon him to gain clarity. He ordered swift riders to fetch Guan Lu from Pingyuan to Yi. After several days, Guan Lu arrived. Cao Cao received him in the hall and saw a man of plain appearance and modest dress, yet calm and unyielding in demeanor. After formal greetings, Cao Cao asked directly about the black wind and corpses, probing whether it was ghostly activity or deliberate trickery. Guan Lu replied lightly, "It was illusion. There is no need for concern." To Cao Cao, it was as if a great weight lifted from his chest. If it was not heaven's doom or vengeful spirits, then his heart could finally rest. With peace of mind, his spirit revived, his illness eased, and his complexion improved. Cao Cao then questioned him about the future, the fortunes of Wei, the surrounding states, and even whether his descendants would enjoy lasting prosperity. After divination, Guan Lu foretold the loss of a great general and also said that the Chow clan would reach the height of honor, and its descendants would be illustrious. Cao Cao nodded outwardly, yet inwardly felt unease. These words sounded both like reassurance and warning, suggesting that great success would demand great sacrifice. Cao Cao wished to appoint Guan Lu to a high office, so he could consult him at any time. Guan Lu declined firmly, saying his fate was thin and he was unfit to govern men, only to deal with matters of spirits. This refusal made Cao Cao trust him even more, believing that such a man did not speak merely to flatter. Before long, the first month arrived, and the Lantern Festival approached. Xiudu was adorned with lanterns and banners, appearing peaceful and prosperous. Yet beneath the celebration, resentment smoldered among those who saw Cao Cao increasingly resemble an emperor, while the Han court existed in name only. Geng Ji and Wei Huang resolved to act. They allied with Jin Hui and Ji Miao and Ji Mu, sons of Ji Ping, swearing an oath in blood. They chose the 15th night, when lanterns filled the city and security was relaxed. To heighten the illusion of peace, Jin Hui persuaded Wang Bai to promote a grand lantern display. On the festival night, crowds filled the streets under brilliant lights. But beneath the revelry, blades were sharpened and fires prepared. After the second watch, a fire broke out in the Imperial Guard's camp. Chaos erupted. Wang Bai fled but was wounded by Geng Ji and barely escaped. Discovering Jin Hui's betrayal, he fled to Chaoxiu to report. Fire spread through the city, even reaching the 5 Phoenix Tower, forcing the emperor into seclusion. Battles raged in the streets as cries of "Kill the Chao traitors, restore the Han" echoed. By dawn, Jin Hui and the Ji brothers were dead, Geng Ji and Wei Huang captured, and over 100 followers executed. What began as a plan to exploit the lantern lights ended with those same lights consuming the rebels in blood and fire. Summary: this chapter begins with Cao Cao's terror and illness, and weaves themes of fate and human action through the figure of Guan Lu. Loyal Han officials sacrificed their lives in a futile attempt to restore the dynasty, symbolizing the Han's irreversible decline. Though Cao Cao fears heaven's will, he ultimately secures power through harsher measures, foreshadowing even bloodier turning points ahead. Knowledge points. 1. The portrayal of Guan Lu as a near-omniscient diviner is a clear literary exaggeration. Guan Lu was a historical figure skilled in the Book of Changes and divination, but historical records of the Three Kingdoms, Book of Jin, do not mention altering lifespans through the southern and northern dippers, raising corpses through illusion, or precise predictions of battles and deaths. 2. Cao Cao being frightened into illness and healed by Guan Lu is not historical fact. While Cao Cao did suffer chronic illness later in life, no sources record him falling ill due to supernatural fear or summoning Guan Lu for psychological relief. 3. The dramatic mass executions and symbolic staging are highly doubtful. Although Cao Cao was ruthless and did carry out severe purges, such theatrical episodes involving hundreds of officials would almost certainly have been recorded in detail if they had truly occurred.